All right, and good evening, and welcome to this edition of Mock Ad Hoc, and I'm your host, Johnny B, and I help fantasy owners get through the preseason, get you all ramped up for your live draft in August or September, and we're really excited tonight because we're going to talk about the top 10 running backs, our view, of course, at Mock Ad Hoc, and looking at the board behind me, we finally get to put it in use, and we're going to have Dave and Quinn back on, of course. Dave, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. Thanks. How's it going?
That's all you're going to say, Seahawk fan? That's it?
We're not Super Bowl champions, so I'm not quite as happy as I was this time last year.
Gotcha. All right, gotcha. Well, let's talk about a Super Bowl champion squad, the Steelers. And Quinn, how are you doing?
Fired up. Good to see you guys. It's All-Star Tuesday for the baseball fans. American League One got probably the best time in the last 30 years for baseball. I know we're talking football, but seeing all those young studs out there, especially MVP Mike Trout, congratulations. It's a wonderful day to be here with you guys. 2 weeks closer to... Thank you. 2 weeks closer to opening day for the NFL here.
Yeah, and for all those listeners, hey, thanks for subscribing to our YouTube channel. We've had a lot of fun with this and a lot of success, so thank you guys for checking it out. And to Quinn's point, if you're tuning in here and you think we're going to talk about baseball, we're not. So you can go ahead and click the X on your computer at the upper right-hand corner because we're not talking baseball. What we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about the runners. So here we go. We're going to do a little mock draft. We're just going to start with the top 10 runners. You're going to take a pick, and you're going to give me why. So jump right into it. Dave, you're up. You got the number one pick, 2015 Fantasy Football League. This is a standard league, okay? And let's say there's 10 owners in this league. Go ahead, Dave, your first pick.
10 owners, and I got two guys to pick from, in my opinion. It's Jamal Charles and Adrian Peterson. If I'm picking today, it's going to be Jamal Charles over Adrian Peterson. As soon as I see Adrian Peterson take handoffs in the preseason, I might just fall in love with him all over again and go back to having him number one. So it's right between those two guys. Today I'll take Jamal Charles and put him number one. Love that guy. Totally reliable, year in, year out, top running back over the last 2 years. Mr. Consistency as far as touches and touchdowns and yards, and I'll take that consistency.
All right, Quinn, we're gonna move to you. Do you have any comments on Jamal Charles, or are you happy with that?
Yeah, I love Jamal Charles. I would not take him with the first pick for a couple of reasons. Now Davis is one. I think he's going to take a lot of red zone chances away from him on the goal line. They're going to look to balance those two out and keep Charles healthy. I think he, along with Le'Veon Bell, is the most talented back in the NFL. I'm going to put all my money on an angry, something to prove Adrian Peterson with the 2 pick. I love Norv Turner as their offensive coordinator. He doesn't have anyone to take him out when they get down there in the goal line. He is versatile. He's dominant. He used to run angry when he was happy. Now he's really angry. I think he's going to be the best back in the NFL again. I'm going to take him at number 2.
And I don't think we have to go into any detail on AP or Jamal Charles for that matter. I think both of those picks, in any order, I think are spot on. I'm actually quite content with both of those. I could see how that would work out great. So I'm up, and I'm going to take Le'Veon Bell. I know you're high on this guy, Quinn, so I think he's going to miss some games. We've already kind of been over all of this. But here's a guy who's a bowling ball, like you said. He never goes backwards, always forwards, catches the football. This is a standard league we're drafting here, but that's my pick. Dave, are you happy with Le'Veon there at number 3? You think he should slide down further?
I think he should slide down a little just because of the games he's going to lose. On talent, I have no problem with him being right there, or maybe even, some people will take him ahead of the other guys if he was playing all the games. He came out of last season right up there near the top. So personally, I'd have him down a few spots, but the guy's super talented.
All right, and real quick, this is the time we always do this. This is an ad hoc item. So, if Quinn, you did take Le'Veon Bell overall number 3, who are you gonna safeguard your next runner? I'm not necessarily saying your next pick, right? I'm gonna jump to the second round here, but I think for the listeners out there, let's say this is you. This is your league board, and you just took Le'Veon number 3. Quinn, who's going to be your second targeted runner just in case, right? Because he's going to miss some games. Throw out some guys that you would look at if you were going to take a second running back as the draft circles around. I know a lot depends, but just throw some names out that you'd be targeting.
Yeah, I think if you're going to take a flyer with Le'Veon that early, you're definitely going to have a strategy to back him up, and you're going to be hoping for a very quality starter that you can pick up in the second round, possibly a C.J. Anderson, hopefully someone like a Justin Forsett, may or Randall may hang around to that point, because those guys are capable of being elite number 1 guys that can step in for Le'Veon for those first couple of weeks, and then if you have 2 elite backs towards the end of the year, now you're talking about going for a trophy at the end of the year.
Yeah, I like it. Dave, any comments on that?
I'll give you a name in the second round. That towards the end of the second round, you might be looking at Mark Ingram, high on a lot of guys' draft boards. He's a guy you might want to take a look at to pair with somebody. He's definitely a number 1, even though Spiller's going to steal some carries and some receptions out of the backfield. But might be a guy who you can depend on early in the season who looks like he's going to get those carries.
Yeah, and I think I'm all for that. I think really, I just took Le'Veon here in this mock draft, but those are the types of things I think you have to really consider. If you're going to take Le'Veon that early, you certainly have to back him up just in case, because you're going to be without him, and that's good to have a plan. So Dave, while we had you on just now, it's actually your turn. So you took Charles as your number 1. Who do you think overall rank? We're just talking about the top 10 runners here on this show. Who do you think lands number 4?
Overall rank, I've got Le'Veon Bell a little lower, so my number 3 back for me is Eddie Lacy. So Eddie Lacy, clear number 1. Starks is there. You got a great offense. The play action, the passing is going to set him up for all kinds of big plays, just like last year. Eddie Lacy's a workhorse. That's what you want. With your first pick, you want a safe pick. Somebody's going to get the ball 20 times, week in, week out, pile up that 80 yards and a touchdown more often than not. Eddie Lacy's the man right there, I think.
Okay, Quinn, do you think Eddie Lacy fits in good at 4 overall? Or, I mean, you're a little biased because you're a Steeler fan, but I know a lot of people are going to ask, which one's going first? I know we got Le'Veon missing time. Do you like Eddie Lacy ranked number 4 as Dave has him there?
Yeah, I completely agree with Dave. I would have taken him in the 3 spot over Le'Veon, even though I love Le'Veon. Just, you miss 20% of the season, you got to drop out of the top 5, in my opinion. I think Lacy is a beast. He's versatile. He gets the hard yardage. He's a breakaway guy, I believe it, even though he's 230 pounds or whatever he is. And he catches the ball out of the backfield. He is just a monster. And they've really shown to be more versatile the last couple of years, knowing that they need to run the ball to be a balanced offense. And I think he's the guy who's going to get the majority of the carries. I love him at 4. I think that's a steal. Okay.
And again, we're just going to rank them. We're going to stack rank the top 10. In our opinion, this is our view. This is Mock Ad Hoc. We have a lot of fun. So, Quinn, you're up here actually at number 5. You took Peterson as the second ranked overall runner, which I think you can go either way, 1 or 2 with him or Charles. But now, on your list, again, this is your own personal one, where do you have the number 5 runner in your opinion?
I think it's a toss-up right now between Lynch, Forte, and McCoy. I'm going to go with Forte. I don't like what they're going to have offensively. There's a lot of unknowns, but I just think the guy's just incredible. He's big, he's fast, he catches 80 to 100 balls, he's great around the goal line, he never seems to miss a snap, he doesn't come off the field ever, even though he runs for the hard yardage, he never seems to take a big shot where he's dinged up. I just think he's too consistent not to take at that point. He's a few years younger than Lynch, and McCoy's got some unknowns in the new offense. I'm definitely going to take Matt Forte there.
Agree or disagree, Dave? Forte at the number 5 slot.
I've got Forte more at 7 because I do have some concerns with that offense and the coaching staff and just how they're going to use him versus how he was used last year. I would probably have, let's see, we're at 5. I'd probably have Marshawn Lynch in there at 5. And maybe even Arian Foster ahead of Forte at this point. In a PPR, you still might want to bump Forte up to 5. That's a good spot for him. But I think I'd have Foster and Lynch ahead of him at this point.
So that brings me to Johnny B's pick here, and there you go. I'm gonna have to say Lynch on my list. I actually would probably swap that as well. I'd probably put Lynch number 5 over Forte. There's some coaching changes in Chicago, and I think without Brandon Marshall, who's gone to the Jets, I think you got Kevin White and you got Alshon Jeffrey. I think Forte is going to be asked to do a lot, but I just don't see it as the same season as last year. Again, I'm really high on Bennett, the tight end. That's the only Bear I really, really am high on. Of course, don't get me wrong here. If I have the chance to draft Jeffrey, I would. But I just think Forte, as a runner on my list here, moves down a little bit when I can get Lynch at number 6. Quinn, what do you think about Lynch? Did he go too far, in your opinion, on this, or is he about right?
He's just about right on mine. I think with adding Jimmy Graham and the emergence of some of those young Seattle receivers, we're going to see Seattle change their offense a little bit. I mean, they're starting to lose guys on defense. They're not going to win 10-7 football games anymore. They're going to spread the field. They can trust Russell Wilson to do what they need to do. I don't think Marshawn's going to be getting 30 carries a game anymore. He's still a beast. He still gets touchdowns. He catches the ball. He's dependable. But, I don't think he's going to be in the top 8 or 10 in carries this year. I think we're going to see him slide a little bit more down. Nothing against him. He's just an absolutely phenomenal runner, but I think he's going to get less opportunities to touch the ball, particularly around the red zone. If you got 6'7" Jimmy Graham over there, and you're going to probably do a lot of play action and try to get him the ball as much as you can.
All right, Dave, anything to say about Lynch and the Skittles?
No, he should have had one more touchdown last year.
You think?
Or one more yard.
Well, it's funny. We certainly are not reopening the wound, man. You've been doing on this show a lot where you bring up those Super Bowl god-awful memories, man. How many times have you replayed that? Tell me.
The wound remains open, and I'll replay it until we win another one, probably.
Oh, jeez. Well, I think Lynch falls pretty true there at 6. So now it's back to you, Dave. Who do you like next?
Yeah, I think I kind of said it before, kind of pimped it, but I like Arian Foster. I think he's a workhorse. Durability, of course, is the issue. As long as he's healthy, he's in your lineup week in, week out. If he's nicked up, that's probably why he's at 7 and not 4, because the potential for injury. So Foster's a stud.
Can you trust Foster, Quinn? I remember a couple years ago he was on a vegan diet. He lost a bunch of weight. Everyone was like, "Oh man, stay away, stay away." Then last year, people had him ranked so darn low, and then look, even Dave was claiming, you got him late and he won the league. What do we do expect with Arian Foster this year? I mean, is it true or false? What do you think? Is he true? What do you think?
Oh, I definitely think he's true. I mean, you get consistency with him. He's versatile, catches the ball. Again, when we talk about these guys that do it all, it's the 3-tiered attack of scoring touchdowns, catching the ball, and running the ball. So Foster's a stud. He gets injured now and then. We've got some changes with their offense that we're going to have to see what happens there as far as offensive coordinators and stuff. But definite stud. I like him at 7 for sure. I would probably put him more at 8 or 9, but I don't think it's a bad pick at 7 at all.
Okay, well, you're on the clock here, so we got the number 8 pick. Who's your number 8 running back right now?
Take McCoy right there. It's a toss between him and Murray, but McCoy's versatile, catches the ball, scores touchdowns. He's angry. He's going to running back university over there in Buffalo. I think he's a steal round 8. I really do.
Okay. Well, that moves, I guess, the next pick to me. Although I'd love to say it's DeMarco Murray, I just don't like him in the system in Philly. I think where in Dallas, this guy was used to be on the floor, on the grass, on the turf, every down. I think now he's going to be sitting on the sidelines a little bit more, and he's going to be scratching his head because there's other guys over there. Darren Sproles, you got a different quarterback. I don't like Murray here, so I'm actually going to bump him down. And I'm actually going to say C.J. Anderson at this spot. So I'll put Anderson at number 9. Anderson should probably be, in most people's books, either a little north or south of where I'm at here. But I think with what I'm looking at, I'm going to say C.J. Anderson.
I
All
like
right,
it.
so
I like Anderson there, and I think now you got a couple guys on the board there that you're looking at, and you kind of mentioned it. DeMarco Murray's probably the guy in the next spot. I think in that offense where 2 years ago McCoy was the league's leading rusher, he was the league's leading rusher last year in Dallas. 370 carries last year is my biggest concern, but a change of scenery and a change of conditioning program. He's going to be in shape, and he's going to be on the field. I don't think we're going to see him lose too many carries to Matthews. I like Murray there, and I think he's a great pick as the 10th back off the board.
all right, so basically we got our 10 picks in the books. I think we'll kind of scroll back real quick. I think there's one other pick though we could probably mention. Quinn, last year. I'll go ahead and put this guy up here on the board, and then you just talk to him. Jeremy Hill. I think Jeremy Hill you can include. We'll just throw one more. Why not? Just for fun. We said it was a top 10 running back show. There's 11. Quinn, what do you think about Jeremy Hill as I kind of put him up there?
I think he's an absolute stud, but they still have Bernard. I don't think he's going to get 30 touches a game. I love Hill. He runs so hard, and he's great. He's great by the goal line, catches the ball out of the backfield. But I like him there, but I would probably take Forsett over him, just knowing that Forsett's really going to be the main man. Gio still has that breakaway speed, and they like to put him in third and long and fourth and short. So I would prefer to take Forsett there, where he's not going to lose any carries to someone behind him like Hill may.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Well, hey, at this portion of the program, I think send us your thoughts. I'm at UDDWorks at Twitter handle. Dave, go ahead and shout yours out real quick.
Yep, at SeahawksFan1212. That's Seahawks with a C. And remember, these are your picks. We're giving you our suggestions and where they fall, but you got to be comfortable with who you like. If you like Peterson number 1, if you like Lacey number 1, it's not going to come back around to you. All these guys, the top 5 or 6, 7 guys, are not going to be there in the second round when you pick. If you really like one of them, you got a strong feeling, it's your team, you take them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I know Quinn doesn't believe in Twitter. He made that apparent on the last show. I love that. But Quinn, what are your final thoughts here as we went through? And we even put 11. Hey, we threw in a bonus pick there for you with Jeremy Hill. Any closing comments, Quinn? Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, I mean, like Dave said, just go with your instincts. I mean, whether it's that beautiful wife we're married to the first time you see him, or when you see a car or a house, you know when something feels right. And so don't always listen to what the experts are saying. I mean, the media just piles on something and over and over and over. If something feels right and you just have this innate feeling that someone's going to be good, roll with it. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Like Dave said, it's your team, and you get to decide how you want your team to work. And for people like us who've been playing for 20, 25 years and have been consistently good, you have that feeling usually for a reason, because something good is going to happen. Just roll with it.
Yeah, and as I kind of do my final close here, I think you also have to look at fantasy football from the perspective of, yes, we're going to take a look at last year, but last year is in the past, right? It's done. It's over with. You have to look at new eyes. You have to say, here's what we're looking at, right? The fun thing about fantasy football, it's the ultimate jigsaw puzzle, okay? That's why I love to play it. You got to put the pieces together this year. We've given you a little indication on who we like, but again, this is our style. I'll throw in my mock ad hoc 2 cents. On my list here, if this was a real draft and all these runners were here, I got Demaryius Thomas. I got Antonio Brown. Could you imagine this upside-down draft right now? Do you know how many wide receivers would be available if this all happened right here? So fun times for me. Dave, what do you have to say as we close this thing out?
Johnny, did you just throw an Omaha at us? Omaha Red?
Oh, yeah, Omaha.
I don't think they would allow that big wrist thing during the draft. I mean, computers, paperwork, but the wrist thing I think is illegal.
What are you talking about, man? That's my MO. I got all my picks right here. I don't bring anything else to the draft. I got it all right here, and it's all ready to go. And no one's gonna beat me. No one ever has.
You have to look to the sideline to see which number on the armband you're supposed. You don't even know how the armband works.
Yeah, exactly. I got those Beats by Dre in my ears too that no one can distract me. I'm going right to the board, but no, man, I think this would be a dream for me on Upside Down Drafting. But hey, check us out on Twitter, like we said. But if you want to send us an email to the show, send it to info@upsidedowndrafting.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're just checking us out for the first time. We'd love to have you on again. We're going to do a bunch more of these, and we're going to have a bunch more people on the show, and we're just so thankful you guys are tuning in to us. So for Dave, for Quinn, I'm Johnny B, and this was the top 10 running backs, our review from Mock Ad Hoc. We'll see you next time. The pizza guy's here. We're getting hungry, and thanks for being on the show, guys. We'll see you next time.